Recently, I did a tutorial on the 7 critical elements of a sell sheet, and one of the most common questions that I get is about the cost of goods, or COG. You can catch that video here, and I'll put a link in the description below, but today I'm going to show you how to calculate the estimated cost of goods and when and why it matters. Hi, Lisa Lloyd here with more tips, tricks, and strategies to optimize and accelerate your invention licensing success. If you like this video, please smash the like and subscribe buttons. It's a free way to support me, and when you hit that notification bell, you'll be the first to know when I've posted a new video each and every week. A great idea is not a great invention until it's profitable. You can have a million great ideas, but the only ideas worth pursuing are the properly researched and decidedly profitable ones. So take the time to do your due diligence and increase your odds for success. It'll give you the knowledge and power to make an intelligent business decision and not costly mistakes. One of the things that I still do exactly the same today as I did when I licensed my first invention 30 years ago is estimate the cost of goods on a product that I'm considering inventing. It'll not only help me make the decision about whether to move forward with that idea or not. I mean, if it costs more than people are willing to pay for it, obviously it's not going to work. But it helps to set me up for licensing later also. I'll explain more on that in a minute. You can't possibly know if your product is worth spending a dime on until you know it has money-making potential. Your idea may be the most ingenious creation in the history of mankind, more convenient than sliced bread or more essential than cell phones, but if manufacturing it is too expensive, forget about it. The invention is worthless. So obviously this is important for you to make a decision in the beginning to move forward, and for companies later on when they're considering licensing your invention from you. Let me know in the comments below if you have pitched your invention for licensing and cost came up during that initial conversation. I'd love to hear about it. There are 2 ways to assess the cost of goods. The easiest and non-scientific way is to assume your costs by finding similar products sold in stores and then estimating their cost to manufacture to be about 20 to 25% of what that retail price was. An average rule of products is that they're marked up 4 to 5 times the cost of manufacturing to get to the retail price. When I say similar products, I mean in terms of materials and such. So, as an example of finding something similar, I have a mop that works very similar to a carpet sweeper, and it just has some basic modifications. So I can estimate that my mop will cost slightly more than a carpet sweeper cost and probably sell at a similar price. I used those numbers on my pitch deck. Like I said, this is not a science, but it can give you a general idea for a quick nod to move forward or not. Sometimes you'll find that a 4 to 5 times markup estimation isn't making sense though. When something is sold for a lot more at retail than maybe what a 4 to 5 times markup would have been, that's the result of perceived value and not cost of goods with a markup. So for example, the French twister was my first invention and it only cost 6 cents to make, but it ultimately retailed for $1.99. If they had sold that item only taking into consideration the standard markup, then it would have only retailed for 25 to 30 cents. The consumer placed more value on what the device did, and that's what they were buying it for. So the company priced it competitively at $2 based on that perceived value. So if your standard markup isn't making sense for your invention, then take it a step further and speak with an engineer or a manufacturer to get an idea of what the cost to manufacture the item would be. When asking for a quote, be sure to ask for the price at the highest quantity order. Manufacturers work on sliding scales, and so the cost goes down based on the volume of the order. It's called economies of scale. Ideally, you'll be licensing to a large company, and you can safely assume that they're going to order at the maximum quantity to get the biggest breaks in their cost. So that's the quote that you want to estimate for your sell sheet. Since you know that you won't be hiring them to do all the work, don't make getting you a quote a lot more work for them. Just let them know that you're just looking for an expert guesstimate to have something that you can share with your business partners, and that you'll be back later for a formal quote when and if you're ready for that. Also, in the case of perceived value, it's especially helpful to know what your suggested retail price would be. What company wouldn't love to know that your markup for your invention is better than competitors? I'd say that's a big selling point because it directly impacts your licensee's profitability, right? This is called MSRP, or Manufacturer Suggested Retail Price. The temptation here is to put your own retail value on the idea or ask a few friends and family members what they would pay for it. I believe that's an okay starting place, and sometimes with more simple inventions, it's enough. But if you have something that is totally new or you're just not sure what it would sell for, you may need to do a little deeper research by interviewing people who buy similar products. You should get at least 35 to 50 respondents to tell you what they think your solution would be worth at retail. Gathering this information about the cost of goods and the suggested retail price when it's higher than the average markup puts you on the path to success. And understanding this will help you proceed confidently with your ideas. If you have any questions or would like to know how to build your own invention licensing business, book a free strategy call with me using the link below. If you like this video, please be sure to let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Dare to dream and imagine what's possible when powered by innovation.